So today God has a word. In the book of Genesis, prayer warriors, I need y'all, come on now, praying with me. The book of Genesis, 22nd chapter of Genesis, and the 7th verse. And there is a word written there. You'll find, and Isaac spake unto Abraham, his father, and said, my father. And he said, here am I, my son. And he said, behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Some Bibles may say sacrifice. Well, that's what the sacrifice was. Y'all go ahead and sit down. Look here. Where is the sacrifice? Where is the sacrifice? Isaac said, where is the lamb? I see out of the eyesight of Isaac. Everybody always talk about Abraham, but they never say much about Isaac. When God showed me this text, I said, Lord, make it make sense. In an hour where being committed is not on the top of everybody's list.
Right. My goodness.
Sacrificing.
Yes, sir.
And he showed me something. I kept reading something and I saw something in this. Whew. How many people are really willing to sacrifice?
Jesus.
Oh, Lord.
Jesus.
And then God showed me the church. Out of the eyes of prosperity, there have been birth for members of the church. And it does not matter what denomination you are.
That's right.
These 4 members define where the church is in this hour. I kept looking. I said, well, what is it? Well, they have, church members.
Jesus.
4 categories.
Jesus.
All right.
They have everybody.
Okay.
Somebody.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Anybody.
All right.
And nobody.
My God. All right. All right.
And each time the call goes out for sacrificial service, these members show up.
Well.
Is there anybody willing to come early,
My God.
stay late?
My God.
Everybody
Jesus.
thought that somebody
Right.
should be glad to do it. And somebody felt assured that anybody would come forward.
Right. Right.
And guess who responded?
Nobody.
Nobody.
My God.
Secondly, when the call goes out, is there anybody willing to volunteer
Jesus.
for Bible study,
Help us, Lord.
prayer meeting, living outside of what the world expects out of you? I see here again somebody shows up thinking that anybody ought to be willing and nobody responds. I want y'all to catch it now. Catch this. And then he challenges us to commit ourselves to not forsaking or assembling ourselves together. And he just asks, will you give a commitment strong enough to release the promises in your life? And I see there where everybody is looking, but everybody is there. Somebody thinks that somebody will do it, and doesn't anybody move, and nobody responds. It's critical that we put these members to rest.
Today.
Do you not know that everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody cannot get you into heaven? Only what you do for Christ will last. And if you think serving God requires no sacrifice, you lying to yourself.
My God.
Too long have we been in church and we think just getting by is enough. I'm ready to see the homes blessed now in this hour because God promised me that. But you cannot get it looking at these lazy members like everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody is moving. That means if nobody's moving, that means nobody's getting. And then you're going to learn something today, because the blessings that I'm talking about and the blessings that God is talking about and the sacrifices that get you has nothing to do with tangible things, by the way. Because some of us, we've gotten twisted. We think because we got some stuff, we got some things, we must not be one of the members, everybody, anybody, and nobody. We must not be in that category because I got too much to show. That doesn't mean anything to God.
My God. My God. My God.
I know some folk ain't got nothing.
Amen.
Living in a one room right now, not yesterday, today.
Right.
In a one room house, but understand one thing.
Right.
All I need is Isaac. Young man, Isaac, a young man. And I want you young folks to understand, stop keeping your mouth closed. If God showed you something, say something. Isaac was there with his daddy and asked him, I see. Dad, I see. I see you working on the altar. I see the fire. I see the wood. But where, Daddy? I see the building. I see the preacher. I see men's fellowship. I see women's ministry. I see ushers ministry. I see teen and youth ministry. I see. But where? Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. We better take notice to our young folk, because Isaac, not knowing that God had asked him to be the sacrifice, he's wondering, I see everything traditionally here except for, and a lot of folk are looking at the church today, they see everything for traditionally sound, but they don't see any power nor evidence of God. And it starts in your first church. Your first church is in you, that resides in your home. And if you see no miracles and wonders in your home, you see no breakthrough in your home, what can you bring to worship? Nobody. Because I never looked at this like this until I saw Isaac ask. He said, where is the sacrifice, Daddy? And you know what his father said? Come on now. But his daddy, Abraham, had to be in tune with his young son. It seemed like to me, I wasn't there, but the natural state of our human being would tell us we need to detach ourselves from what we got to give up. He couldn't have been detached. His mind had to still be on what God told him to sacrifice. And in spite of all that, he pointed his son right back to, he said, God will.
Yes, Jesus.
How many of y'all willing, when you get ready to make a sacrifice and you know you got to do something God told you to do, and you really don't want to do it, but because you, I'm going to tell you something about that, because you love so much. See, God is wanting to test us in this hour to see if we really love Him. Let me show you something before we get into this word while I break this thing down real good. But I want you to understand this, that we understand that in the law, the Levitical law, God did away with blood sacrifice and sin. That was a sin, right? Leviticus 5, I think it is. But listen. In that, I want us to understand what God is doing before we take off, and I'll let you know what we got to do to get ourselves in position. Is this. It was all about a test.
Right. Yes.
Right.
See, a lot of us ain't had nothing, and once we get something, because God promised us that He would give it to us, we take ownership.
Jesus.
Like money.
Jesus. Help us.
We didn't have no job. Didn't know that we would have a career, but now we got one. Ain't nobody had no job, the kind of job I have in this family, but I got it. I'm big time now. I got the money. I got the bread. It's coming in. So and did God not promise Abraham and Sarah that I'm going to give you a son? He did not. He gave it to him, and then he said, come here, Abraham. He didn't go to Sarah. Say, I need you to sacrifice what I promised you I would give you. And guess why he did? Testing it.
Yes, sir.
Don't you know that all he was testing him to see if he would, I never had anybody put it like this is real. He was testing him to see if he loved him in his heart. Where's the church?
My God.
We too busy trying to build the best, and even our own body, we try to dress it up and put it on a dirty body with a dirty heart and a twisted up mind, and come to church and sit down and think God is going to do something for you in worship. You're lying to yourself.
Amen.
He can't do it. You're going to be cursed until you lift it out of your sacrificial service unto God. And when you sacrifice out of your heart, you're not looking at yourself. Don't you know it was hard for Abraham? If you know you got to give somebody your car, you start changing the oil in that car. Because you know it's not yours. But he kept listening to his